We are live now, Mansi.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first career awareness workshop. This is for our Hero Fincorp supported career guidance program that I've been doing in a lot of your schools. And so this is the first workshop that we have. And today the topic will be careers in science. What we plan to cover in this workshop was circulated, but I'll talk about it. But let me first give a brief intro about what we have done till now under this Hero Fincorp program. So this is a Hero Fincorp supported career guidance program for which all of us have come together. It is being supported by Ramakant Munjal Foundation and also Aasman Foundation. What we have done in this program is that we reached out to a number of schools across Kolkata and nearby West Bengal regions, and we reached out to conduct this career guidance program. What we plan to achieve through this program is to create knowledge and awareness about career guidance. Why career guidance is important and how our students, 9 to 12 standard students, can take their career decisions in their own hands. How we have been doing is, so we are taking the use of technology. Through this technology, we are reaching out to you. Through another technology that we have developed, which is a personalized career guidance portal, we are giving access to all the students who have registered for this program, this career guidance portal, in which we have information of over 500 careers, colleges, and entrance exams and scholarships. All this information is on one single portal. And this portal has been provided to all the students who have registered for this program for 1 year. Along with this portal has the advantage of having a psychometric assessment. The psychometric assessments helps you understand about your interest, abilities, and personalities. So those of who have attended my first workshop, okay, I'm sorry, I may be lost internet connection for a while. I'll be sharing my screen again. I'm really sorry for the technical issues that we are facing, just faced. I hope everybody can hear me now. Thomas, will you be able to confirm that for us, please?
Yes, I can hear you. I can see your screen as well, Mansi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being there with us. So we were talking about this program and what we have done till date in this program. So now we are at the stage where after completing the psychometric assessment, after getting a bit of an idea about how we can plan our careers on our own, today for you students we are bringing this second level of workshop. This is a career awareness workshop, and today I'm going to talk about careers in science. We are going to have more such workshops in the coming days where we will be discussing about careers in commerce, careers in arts and humanities, and also careers which are irrespective of the subjects that you choose, which are called neutral careers. But today we are going to talk about careers in science. So let's start talking about that. But before starting our discussion about careers in science, let me give you a brief introduction about myself also. I am Mansi Kejriwal and I am a career counselor. I have been working in the East region for this program, working with schools in Kolkata and nearby regions in West Bengal. And some of you have already met me in our previous workshops, the career planning workshop that I have already conducted, in your school. I hope you have benefited from that. And I also welcome all the other students with whom I have not get a chance to interact earlier, but I take this opportunity, take this platform to meet with you today and talk about careers in science with you all. So before we start, I would like to know a little more about you and our audience. So can students, quickly type in the comment box which all schools have joined till now? Just quickly mention so we are able to understand if all my students are here, and if we are getting any new audiences also here who could benefit from this program that we have for school students from 9th to 12th standard. All right, I hope you have mentioned your school in the comment section. We'll talk about, I'll check that, and I'll be happy to know who all are there. Now let's begin our discussion about careers in science, and let's talk about first careers in the stream of physics, chemistry, and maths. Okay, so for a moment, if we forget biology, and we are only thinking about students who are have considered taking PCM, physics, chemistry, and maths in their 11th and 12th, or in some cases of ICSE boards and other boards, some students might have already started thinking in 9th, 10th about science as a subject stream. So for them, there are 8 clusters in which this, the careers can be divided. So like I told you, there are over 500 careers that we have talked about in our dashboard. All right. But to make it easy for you, from those 500 careers, we have kind of tried to break down into clusters, career clusters, so it is easy for you to understand how you can consider careers. And here we are going to talk about those career clusters which are specific for PCM, for which in admissions you will require to have studied physics, chemistry, and maths. So those clusters are engineering, merchant navy, architecture, research, environmental sciences, IT, and other specialization courses in engineering or pure sciences. All right. So if you are physics, chemistry, and maths didn't just mean engineering courses or related courses, but pure sciences where you can purely study the subjects that you are really like you can study physics in detail and make careers in them. You can only study chemistry, or you can only study maths, and these you can make into successful and happy careers also. So talking about engineering first, which is the most popular. So we have in engineering itself, we have number of specializations. So we have mechanical and automobile, which are all related with machines and vehicles and cars and all those new technologies that are coming in the field of vehicles or in terms of machines that are made. So all those are made by, designed by, developed by a mechanical or an automobile engineer. Electronic engineering pertains to the field of electronics, and it not terms specifically in terms of electronic machines, but what goes into making those electronic machines. So your microconductors, your integrated chips that are there, the paneling, the microprocessors, the capacitors. So in 9th to 12th, what you study in physics are the capacitors, how electricity passed from capacitors to resistors, and you learn to build those circuits. So those are small circuits that you are right now developing in your schools. When you graduate into college, into an electronics program later on, you have to draw big circuit diagrams, and you have to also make those circuits on a on a proper chip, IP chip. So all that goes, and how these microprocessors work, how they make machines work, all this understanding goes into electronics and engineering. Then you have electronics might have further distributions in terms of electronics and communication, electronics and telecommunication, electronics and instrumentation engineering. So it all deals with these things. Electrical engineering is actually about machines, the electrical equipments that are made. The fan was designed by a electrical engineer. The geyser was designed by an electrical engineer. So these are part of electrical. And power and nuclear engineers are also there, who specifically work in the field of power, whether it be wind power, solar power, or other electric powers. Then you have robotics and mechatronics. All right. So robotics and mechatronics, robotics, we all understand, the ones who design robots and make them work. Mechatronics is also about, designing machines which are integrated and work together to perform certain tasks. So that is why it has been, combined with robotic. Then you have computer engineering, in which you can have a different segment of computer sciences, which is about hardware and all the hard fittings that go into the computer. And then is the software and IT field, which is about your softwares, means programming, which goes into the computer, and all the logic designing and all the development. So it is further, when you go into a job, you will design that a software engineer's job is also divided into multiple categories of developing the program, then testing the program, and having different levels of testing. So these are different job roles that you can have in software or IT engineering. You have civil engineers who design and plan the construction of buildings. You have chemical and petroleum engineering, metallurgical engineering. So all the metallurgical processes in which you learned about in school, you have specific engineers who work in such factories to design the processes and make them function. You have aeronautical engineering also, who are interested in designing spacecraft and more interested in the aerospace programs. You have textile engineering, and you have specifically plastic and those kind of engineering programs also. So those of you who have got access to our dashboard, you will find information about all these engineering degrees on our dashboard. So let me give you a quick look about our dashboard and how does it look. So I'll share my screen again, but this time I'll share something else with you also. And that is the dashboard. Okay, so students who have registered for the program, and the students who had received their login IDs. Those who haven't got their login IDs, the participating schools can reach out to their teachers who were coordinator for these workshops. They have been given your login IDs and the password. So the website is mysarthi.org. We will also write it in the comment section, so you can have quick access to this website. So if you are interested, and if you have your logins, if you have any if you are finding any particular career interesting that I'm talking about, you can immediately log in and start exploring this portal. So in this portal, you have careers information, college information, exam information, and scholarship information. Okay, now coming back to what we were discussing earlier. So we were talking about engineering. So an engineer, like I told you, there are lots and lots of information, lots and lots of specializations that you can consider depending on the interest area that you have. So let's talk about something that might be of your interest. A mechatronics engineer, like I was telling you. So if you're confused between robotics and mechatronics, how is it different? You can study about it, that what is it all about. You can also consider different specializations that are there. So mechatronics engineering can be applied to space engineering also. It can be applied to computer and human interfacing field also. In the field of bionics, smart manufacturing, IoT, and micro and nano electromechanical systems. We've also discussed different pathways through which you can consider making a career in this field. So you might not exactly need to directly get a degree in mechatronics. You can also study your undergraduate in mechanical engineering or applied mechanics. And so we have given here 3 pathways to make a career in this field. We have also talked about the expenses involved, the minimum and maximum education requirement to make a career in this field. What are the future prospects in this field? And also shared examples of popular engineers from India who have made huge impact and a good career for themselves in this specific field. Okay, we have tried to discuss a little bit about their education background so you can get an idea how you can also make a career for yourself in this field. Now coming back to our presentation again. Now, what are the ways through which you can pursue these engineering courses? So at national level, you have JEE, Joint Entrance Examination, which is for IITs. Okay, so 23 IITs that are there in India, 31 NITs, and 26 triple IT courses, colleges, all of them consider JEE scores. We also have some exams at institute level. So for BITS Pilani, we have BITS Pilani and other BITS, we have BITSAT. For Vellore Institute, we have VIT EEE. For SRM Institute, we have SRM-G. For Aligarh Muslim University, we have AMU EEE and SMIT and MEET for Manipal. At state level, so most of you students here present today are from the East region, are most probably studying in West Bengal. So for you, there is West Bengal JEE, and also Assam also organize a state level entrance examination for its colleges. Those of you who want to go to IIT but still want to stay, within near to your hometown, so we have IITs in Guwahati, Kharagpur, Patna, and Bhubaneswar and Dhanbad also. Similarly, NITs are also there in Durgapur and Jamshedpur. We also have triple ITs very close to us. So there is one in Kalyani, there is one in Bhagalpur, Bihar, there is one in Ranchi, we have in Manipur, and also in Guwahati. So our northeastern friends also have good colleges very near to their homes. Now, the one thing that I wanted to share about WBJEE is that you can, with this entrance exam, West Bengal JEE, you can apply to colleges for engineering courses, also for architecture courses, and some pharmacy colleges also take admissions based on this course. So we have around 100 colleges and universities covered under WBJEE. Okay, within West Bengal and nearby regions. Okay, one national exam that I didn't talk about, which is mentioned here, is TES. So TES is primarily Indian Army Technical Entry Scheme. So those who want to join Army, but not as a cadet maybe, but as a technical person, they have their own entry scheme program, which is TES exam, through which you get trained also in the field of engineering, and you get a permanent commission as a lieutenant. Okay, so but the thing is that as for any other army programs, there are medical and height and weight limitations kind of tests, medical tests and health tests, physical tests for this program also. So besides the entrance examination, you will also have to undergo physical and medical tests to apply for this program. Okay, and one more thing for those students who might have interest in computer sciences, but might have missed the chance of taking PCM, or are not planning to take PCM but still interested in the computer sciences. For them, a small note that you can, in some colleges in India, you can apply to a BCA program, the Bachelor's in Computer Applications program. So there are some computer science courses, not specifically to engineering, but other computer application based programs, which take people from commerce or arts background also, but you should have studied maths. Maths is a compulsory subject in case you want to apply for any computer-based program in certain colleges across India. Also, We have a lot of diploma and vocational courses in engineering, which you can enter immediately after 10th also. In that case, you can get, once you complete these diploma courses, you can get lateral entry into the second year of any engineering program, or you can directly join the industry also. So you have diploma courses in mechanical engineering, civil, automobile sector, electrical specialty, computers, also in plastic and polymer, electronics, instrumentation and control, and also in tool and die making. Now moving on to merchant navy. So who are these people? So these are the people who carries big ships of passengers and cargo. They take people and also cargo for one place to another for commercial purposes. So there are different cruise ships are one thing, and merchant navy is different thing. Okay, one of the famous example that I can think of, one thing that you would have surely heard of is the last year incident of Suez Canal, where a ship was stuck while turning. Okay, so ships are very huge and the canal mouth was very short, so it got stuck, and lot of memes were made about it. So yes, that was a job of a merchant navy, somebody captain who was driving the ship, and it was a cargo ship which was carrying stuff from one place to another. How you can enter into merchant navy are through two ways. One is the way of marine engineering and other as a deck officer. So for marine, to be a marine engineer, you have to do your BTech in either marine engineering or in naval architecture. You can also do BSc in nautical science, and there's a diploma program, DNS, Diploma in Nautical Science program also for that. You can also do a BSc in shipbuilding or repair and BBA in logistics, retailing and e-commerce. So why a BBA logistics retailing? Because some of them are cargo ships, which require a lot of logistic management and a lot of understanding of retailing, how those products go somewhere and how those are retailed. And a lot of these transactions are happening through e-commerce also nowadays. So a BBA in that aspect is required. So you can join at first level and grow up to, so you can find details about what is the career growth and graph about it on our, again, on our dashboard. I'll quickly show you where you can find this information if you are interested in going into merchant navy. So here I am sharing my dashboard screen again, and this time I'm going to talk about naval architect and ocean engineers and merchant navy. Okay, so merchant navy, where will you find it? You will find merchant navy under the field of government and defense service career cluster. Here you have your merchant navy officer. So you will find all information. These are the two specializations that I was talking about and how you can enter into it. What is the career graph that you can have in it? How do you complete the program? All those details you can find here. You can also look for colleges and entrance examinations directly from here. Scholarships, job opportunities, and competencies required for this field. Okay, so competencies are important, and this we will talk about further when we talk about your psychometric assessment. So a part of this workshop will also cover the psychometric test that some of you students have already completed. We'll talk about how to read your psychometric test report and how you can map it with different careers. So this section is going to play an important role at that time. And these are some popular people who have done merchant navy programs and became famous because of that also. Now let me come back to our presentation and move forward. So what's next? Let's see. Okay, before we move to the next career, let me tell you how you can go into this. So there are entrance examinations for merchant navy programs also. So there is IMU CET, which is the most popular one. It is organized by Indian Maritime University, and around 40 colleges are covered under this entrance exam. You have a Kolkata campus for Indian Maritime University also, in which their BSc courses are also offered, BTech courses are also offered, and some PG courses are also there. So there are PG programs also, but right now we are going to restrict ourselves to only the undergraduate programs. All right. Okay. Next is your MNET, which is the All India Merchant Navy Entrance Test, which is a part of this only, and then you have some more tests for IMU DNS is for the diploma program. ETO is for electrotechnical officer if you want to apply post, and GME is for graduate marine engineering. So you can look for these programs and these entrance exams on the dashboard. All the information has been provided there. Next is architecture and planning. So architecture is a 5 years program. So BTech is a 4 years program, but architecture is a 5 years program. In admissions in this could happen through JEE also if you want to go into IITs. But NATA is the biggest exam that we have for architecture program. It is the National Aptitude Test in Architecture, under which 26 colleges come across India. So even your top colleges like the School of Planning and Architecture, SPA, Sir JJ College, Chandigarh College of Architecture, all these come under NATA program. For IITs, you will have to give paper 2A. All right. So those of you who are interested in going into IITs particularly, or interested in the architecture program, be ARC from an IIT and the similar colleges. JEE scores are also considered in other colleges. So JEE is one route. NATA is the second entrance exam that you can take. But in this case, in JEE main paper, you will have to take 2A paper, which is for architecture, and JEE main paper 2B. It is for bachelor's in planning. So planning is your urban planning and all the, how, the places have to be developed, where the houses have to come up, where the commercial area has to be developed. So all this information comes under planning. Architecture is more about the structure of the building, right? If you want to understand more about this profession, I would recommend that you can, read this book. It's a fiction, but a very famous fiction by Ayn Rand, Fountainhead. The Fountainhead, the main character of the story, Howard Roark, is an architecture himself. It's a very interesting book, a very famous book. So if you're interested, in a light reading and also knowing more about architecture and what the work involves, you can read this book. So in this program, the architecture program is more about the structure of the building, and planning is more about the layout of a city or of a place. So for a PE planning program is a 4 years course, in which interestingly you can apply with a non-science background also. So if you are from commerce or maths, commerce with maths or arts with maths, you can apply for a B planning program. In that case, you will have to appear for JEE main paper 2B. And for particularly two, colleges, schools, IIT Roorkee and IIT Kharagpur, they also have a requirement of JEE Advanced, in which you have to appear for Architecture Aptitude Test. All right. So the famous colleges that we have out there, some of them I have already told you. School of Planning and Architecture, Sir JJ College in Mumbai, Chandigarh College Architecture. You have also in Jawaharlal Nehru JNFIU. NITs also offer architecture program. And closer to home, we have Jadavpur University and Om Dayal Institute of Architecture. Closer to home, these are the two institutes which offer very good architecture courses. Now moving on to the next career option that a student in PCM have, and that would be in mathematics. Any students who is particularly interested in the field of mathematics, they can go out and make a career for themselves in the field of actuary. Actuary are those people who works in the investment insurance sector. So people who are making all the calculations in the insurance sector or designing all the insurance program are actually actuaries. How do we get into actuary? We have to appear for a test called ACET. Okay, this is a actuarial common entrance exam which is conducted by IAI, Institute of Actuaries of India, in which you have to give exams for 13 subjects and cross 4 stages. After first 2 stages, you become an associate, and after completing all the 4 stages, then you become a fellow actuary. All right. What more you can do with mathematics? You can become a data analytic person, or you can also get into programming. So currently, what we know about programming and data analysis is that it's an engineering field. But no, if you will go out and look into the field of mathematics, mathematics has very wide applications in the field of computational programming, in the field of financial programming. There, mathematicians play a huge role. So somebody who wants to make a career in the pure field of mathematics or statistics or even economics can consider mathematics as their UG program. So mathematicians are also required in the field of cryptology. So for those of you who don't understand cryptology, again, I will recommend you books by Dan Brown. So those who have read the famous books, what was it? Angels and Demons, and the most famous book, I'm forgetting the name right now. So there, the role of cryptology you will understand very well. So these are the people who solve, these cryptic puzzles. All right. In our World War II, in our World Wars, cryptology has played a huge role. All those, in any secret communication that needs to happen, cryptology plays a huge role. So in that field also, mathematicians have a very important role to play. How you can become a specialist in mathematics, and which are the famous colleges in India? So one of them is ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, which has 4 branches: Kolkata, Delhi, Bangalore, and Chennai. And you can get admissions in these colleges through ISI AT. CMI Chennai Mathematical Institute is another upcoming very popular institute in the field of mathematics, offering huge variety of courses in this subject. And they have their own entrance exams and their own process. You can find those details on the dashboard. So let me take you through the dashboard and show you one of the institutes there. So if you're interested in mathematics and pure sciences, so these are the different career options that are there, and this are the different careers for mathematicians. So you have undergraduates in mathematics, statistics, through which you can make a career in this field. You can also go as high as postgraduates. And these are the famous mathematicians from our country. How can you find colleges for yourself? So from here you can find colleges. Let me show you Chennai Mathematical Institute. RN ISI. Not if I find it right now because of my filters. So this is the ISI branch of Bangalore, and these are the different courses offered there. A master's in mathematics, informational sciences, quality management, development studies. So very interesting courses are there. So you should explore, these colleges also when you are looking at colleges. Now moving on to physics and chemistry and biology. So before we talk about pure sciences, let's spend some more time on the field PCB. So what are the options that comes with when you choose physics, chemistry and biology in your secondary education? So we have medical fields in which you have specialization in cardiology, pulmonology, neurology, anything. When you become a doctor, you can also specialize in different numerous fields that are there. Then you have your allied and paramedical sciences. Now, what do allied and paramedical sciences mean? The allied sciences are those which are, related to doctor profession only, but they're not allopathy, but different fields. And paramedical are science positions are those where you assist a doctor. So a doctor needs assistance of many different people who work in the welfare of a patient. We'll talk about no more in the following slides. Then we have your agriculture and food sciences. So agriculture is not just about farming and those things about farmers only. There are a lot of professions out there, and especially nowadays the way edtechs are coming, the way fintech is coming, agrotech is another field that one can look at. So technology in the field of agriculture, and you must be knowing we are an agricultural economy. Agriculture plays a huge role in our country, in our as part of our Indian economy. So so this field offers lots and lots of careers. Then we have fitness, nutrition, and well-being are also career cluster which you can look at. And finally, research. So research and specialization is something that I have to talk to you with respect to PCM also, physics, chemistry, maths, and with respect to PCB also, if you go into specialized research in any of the pure sciences. So first, let's talk about medical and allied sciences. So medical, like I was telling you, are the MBBS courses through which you can become a doctor or a surgeon, depending on the specialization you take. So these specializations could vary from cardiology, pulmonology, neurology, orthology, oncologists are there, gynecologists, pediatricians are there. So a lot of specializations are there. Even dentistry is one of specialization. ENT, ear, nose, throat specialists are there. So medical field itself offers a huge opportunity to those who are interested to become a doctor. And this is the one route. Another route to become a doctor is through the allied sciences courses, which are the Ayush courses. Now, what do you mean by Ayush? Ayush courses are Ayurveda. It's a short form for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. So all these traditional programs of sciences and medical sciences come under Ayush courses. Okay, so there is Bachelor of Ayurveda Medicine and Surgery. There is BUMS is for Unani, BHMS is for Homeopathy, BNYS is for Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences, and BSMS is for Siddha Sciences. Now, what is the way to get into these colleges? Is through your NEET. NEET is the most popular exam that we have for medical field, which is the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. So most of our colleges in India participate and consider NEET scores for medical field, but also for other related courses like dentistry programs, veterinary courses also consider NEET scores. But one thing that I would like to tell all of you about veterinary programs are that veterinary courses generally comes under your agriculture department of state. Okay, so a lot of admissions also happen through state entrance level examinations. So in NEET, there are only like 600 seats for veterinary courses, but through state entrance examinations, you can apply to many more colleges across different states. You also have AIA PGET for Ayush courses, another entrance exams which considers for these particular courses. And AAUVET is another national level exam, plus the state level exams that are there. And for BPT, there are some colleges which take NEET scores, and there are a lot of institute level exams for BPT, physiotherapy course. And the nutrition and dietetics program are not just in MBBS, but these are graduate BSc programs also, which you can look at your all the famous universities that you have around you. Now, what are the top medical colleges that you can aim for. So at the topmost is our AIMS, All India Medical Science in New Delhi. Then you have Armed Forces Medical College in Pune. You have Christian Medical College in Vellore, Jipmer in Pondicherry. You have St. John's Medical College in Bangalore, Maulana Azad Medical College, and the list goes on until the next column, where towards the end I have also mentioned top 20 colleges. There are over 20 colleges in West Bengal which are covered under your NEET entrance exam, which also include famous colleges such as IPGMER, RG Kar Medical College, and KPC Medical College and Hospital. These come under very good colleges in West Bengal. So, medical colleges in West Bengal are spread across Kolkata and Durgapur region. Now coming to the field of agriculture, it's a huge field with lots and lots of opportunity that, like I was talking about. So there's whole field of agriculture, which is not just related with farming, but also about the soil fertility, crops, your seeds. So everything that goes into farming, everything requires, certain work, certain research that goes into it to develop the crop that comes to your home. There are so many plants that you have to learn about. So, and every plant, like every human is different, every plant, every, plant variety that is there, it has its own cycle of growth and everything. So a lot of study and research and development goes into the field of agriculture to bring you that food that you eat. Besides that, agriculture has numerous other purposes. It has, huge significance in the food category, as well as in the, personal care category, or in the pujas where the flowers are used, and the different places in which, plants and the trees and the roots in different forms they are used. So all of it comes under the category of agriculture, horticulture, and all those things. Agronomy is a type of career in which people specializes in not just in terms of crop production, but also in what do you say, they are also specialists of soil. They're also specialists, and also not specialists, but they also have to consider the knowledge of climate, because in food production, in agriculture, climate plays a huge role. So agronomists are those people who have the knowledge of all the three things: the crop means the seed quality and everything, the soil fertility, and the climate. And with their knowledge and with their experience, they help in developing good production programs across different fields and different places. Food technology again requires come from the field of agriculture, where all the food produced that is being produced and processed. All right. So all the chips that we are eating, or all the chocolates that are being produced, all the coffee and the tea plantations that we work with, and that tea converted and brings to our home in a packaged way, in a preserved way, or the ketchups that we used, all it is part of the food technology that has helped us, convert these products into something that we can, sit comfortably at home and consume at our own, choice of time and place. This has been made because of food technology. Forestry is really important, not just from an agricultural perspective, from an environmental perspective also. So we have, from the childhood, we have heard about the green revolution. We have heard about, and there's a lot of talk about saving our environment, growing more plants and trees, and growing our forests. How Amazon forests are depleting in the South American region, and how it is impacting the environment all around the world. So forestry plays a very important role, and different people in different ways can become a part of it. There's a very interesting example that I want to share with you about this person, Shubhendu Sharma. If you will go and search about him, he was an industrial engineer, and now he is working in the space of afforestation. So I'm sure, being students of geography and all these sciences, you have heard the word deforestation and afforestation. So he's working in the space of afforestation and has his own startup also. So these are really huge fields, and really in demand. And there's a lot that can be done in these fields. And how you can become a part of this field are through these entrance exams. The major one, the foremost and the major one is ICAR. ICAR is basically Indian Council of Agricultural Research. This institute organizes their own entrance examination, which is called All India AIEEA, All India Entrance Exam in Agriculture, under which 4 ICAR institutes are there. So ICAR, like I told you, is Indian Council of Agricultural Research. It has its own 4 institutes which come under ICAR this exam. There are also 64 state universities and 7 central universities which consider exam scores from these exams. There are also state and institute-wise entrance exams for to enter into agricultural field. BHU is by Banaras Hindu University. KFET is by Karnataka, common entrance exam for Karnataka. MH means Maharashtra. JCEC is for Jharkhand, and TSEMFT is for Telangana state. So through these entrance examinations, you can get into good agricultural institutes across India and choose a career for yourself. Now, what kind of careers you can have, and what kind of a career graph you have, let me spend a small amount of time showing you about horticulture. What does a horticulturalist do? What is his profession? What is different specializations that are there? So here I'm going to show you on my dashboard that has been given to you for 1 year. Please use these dashboards to explore all the careers that are there. So right now I'm showing you horticulturalists. So what do horticulturalists do? They work with flowers. Okay, so the grow and process flowers, ornamental plants, so all the plants that are used for flowers for decoration and the medicinal plants, those all come under the careers of horticulturalists. These grow into specializations of garden designers, floriculturist, turf specialist, olericulturist, landscaping designer, arboriculturist. I'm not sure if you know all these terms, but if you want to know more, come here and click on any one of them and you will find, the specialization tracks. How you can make a career in these programs? You can go through BSc in agricultural horticulture. You can also go for botany and plant sciences in undergraduation level. And then in post-graduation level, you can, specialize in agriculture domain. All right. So you have undergraduate and postgraduate level, the future prospect of this career, and the famous horticulturalists who have made huge impact in this region. So those who have access to this dashboard, those who registered for our program, those who have attended my first workshop on career planning, they can ask their coordinator teachers for the login IDs and the passwords. And then you can log in into a dashboard on your own, research for the careers that you are interested in. Okay. Now, moving on from agriculture to the vocational programs that are in agriculture. So like engineering, we have vocational programs and diploma program in the field of agriculture also. These are that of plantation worker, dairy farming, agronomy, livestock, horticulture, soil conservationist, fisheries, poultry, gardening, floriculturalist, coffee and tea plantation. Now where you can find information about all these vocational programs that I have talked about, be it in agriculture or be it in the engineering that I showed to you previously, that you will find again here on our site under vocational careers. Okay, so here are vocational careers in the field of, let me show you this in detail. Okay, so you will get a better understanding. So you go to the info center, you go to the explore careers, and the way we have 21 career clusters under professional careers, we have vocational careers in which we have little less clusters but equal amount of information and equal number of careers in different career clusters. So in engineering, like I showed you, you have vocational programs in aircraft, architecture, auto body, automotive, and civil engineering, diesel mechanic, draftsman, electronics and communication, fitter specialists, electricians, garment technologists, all kinds of solar panel installation, sewing machine, refrigeration, and telecommunication technician. All kinds of diploma programs are there. And a specialty about these programs is that you right away get, you get into internships in your second year, and because of the skills that you develop, you immediately get a job also after these programs. And then in agriculture, food also, all these information about different. So those who like to work with bees, maybe have their own bee farming, they can look at these programs. Those who want to be landscape designers, they can maybe start with a small plantation work, organic farming they can learn about, and then develop their own designing program, gardening work, coffee and tea plantations, those who want to know more about this place. So a lot of vocational career programs are also shared here. Similarly, we have in animations, defense, hospitality, IT enabled services, sports and fitness. So you can explore these in detail at your own length and time. You have access to this portal for a year. So please free to log in and ask any queries. I would have shown you previously also. So the portal also gives you option to reach out to your counselor if you are having any problem with this portal or with the assessment. Coming back to our presentation, let's see what we have next. Career for science students. So now coming to the pure sciences that I've been talking about a lot since the beginning. So those students who are looking for options beyond engineering, beyond medical sciences, something purely into research, something that allows them to do research and develop new things, and those all things, they can look into the field of biotechnology, microbiology, zoology, botany, bioinformatics, forensic sciences, and pharmacology. Now, how are these different? I'm going to spend a little time talking about each of these. So biotechnology is majorly impact of technology. How is technology impacting the field of biology or the medical sciences? So it mostly talks about, developing such machines which are right now being used in the field of healthcare and medical. Okay, so biotech talks about the merging of biology and technology. Microbiology is a field of study of the microorganisms. So it has bacteria, viruses, and all those little fungi, all those little organisms that are around it. So it studies both the good microorganisms and the bad microorganisms. We are currently being affected by one bad microorganism, which is a virus. So virologists, bacteriologists, all these will be, as part of the microbiology, the study of microbiology. Zoology studies the animals. Botany comes under the study of plants. So you can, do a deep dive research into these fields also. Bioinformatics is a, interesting field where bio and data is coming picture. So we have data, everything, whatever we are posting on internet, whatever information that we are giving out in a form, everything that is out there on the internet or on the cloud, everything comprises of data. Similarly, our entire medical history and all the whatever researches are going in the field of medical sciences, all those also make up data. And how study of those data and how it is impacting the researches that are coming out in the field of biology. Any development that we are doing in the field of biology comes through the combination of biology and informatics. So this is biotech is the combination of biology and machines, the technology, the physical technology, and bioinformative is the intangible technology, the data, the power of information and data that we have about medical field and medical sciences. That combined with bio becomes the field of bioinformatics. Forensic sciences is all about all the criminal series that you would have seen, the detective series in which the body goes for autopsy, and if on a crime scene, whatever, investigation happens of the evidences that are there, all these go under forensic sciences. It is a specialized field, and you can find more information about it on the dashboard. Pharmacology is the field of where people produce medicines, test drugs, all the drugs that are produced to cure any diseases. So the people who have been working day in and day out since coronavirus came out, to find that drug and testing those drugs, passing them through different tests, and making sure that they don't have any long-term side effects on you and those things. Those people are pharmacologists, and that this is the field of study called pharmacology. Okay, if you are interested to know more about this area, and you can search about it on our dashboard. And also there is a new series that has come recently on Disney Hotstar, which is The Humans. It talks about this field of how drugs are made, how drugs are tested on human beings, what are the good things and the bad things that happen around it, what is the kind of life that a person in pharmacology can have. So you can go and see that for more information. And this is about pharmacology. Now, what are the entrance exams through which you can enter into pure sciences? So the most popular entrance exams that we have are ISIAT for Indian Statistical Institute, in which you can go for B Maths and B Stat program. These are open for non-science students also, but they should be having maths as their subject in 11th and 12th. Then ISER, which is the Indian Institute of Science Research and everything. Though it has 7 campuses across India, it has its own exam, and they also take admissions through KVPI. KVPI is Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. It's a fellowship program. You have a test, you have interviews happening, after which you can get admission into IISER, also in IISE, Indian Institute of Sciences, that we have. Then you also have National Entrance Screening Test, in short, which is popular as NEST. So this entrance exam you can take for direct admission, NISER, NISER, and DAI, and Homi Bhabha Research Institute, HBRI. These institutes take direct admission through NEST program. NEST, interestingly, is also a scholarship program. Okay, this is for students in their first, second year of any BSc, BTech, or MBBS program, and also for third and fourth year programs. So it's a scholarship program. So you can find difference between the two and study about both of them on our dashboard. I'll show you also. And then for the paramedical courses, so paramedical courses are those courses in which you assist the doctors. So all the nursing programs that are there, the physiotherapy programs that are there, and all the people who the technicians that are there who work in the radiology department or in the different department. So these are the people who assist doctors in report generation, doing the testing, and finding the lab technologies that are there. So these are all paramedical science programs. So those students who are interested in in the sciences, but maybe not, they don't want to become a doctor, or maybe they don't want to appear for NEET, then you can also look at the paramedical course programs. Okay, so let me once again take you to our dashboard, where I'll show you some paramedical programs also, and I will also show you this NEST scholarship program information, where you can find it and how you can find it. So last we were talking about vocational careers, coming back to professional careers and allied and paramedical sciences. So here you have your Ayurvedic doctors and all. Those I told you are allied medical science programs. Then you have your health psychologists, the mental health professionals, the occupational therapist, the prosthetist, who's the people who are having a certain person physical disability, and those who develop their build and design their artificial limbs. Those are the jobs under prosthetist. Okay, respiratory therapist, your speech therapist, so all your therapists and your all your so those all who assist a doctor in the complete holistic treatment of a patient come under the paramedical sciences. Now going for the entrance exams and the scholarship programs. I was telling you, NEST is also a entrance exam and it is also a scholarship program. So I'll show you both. Okay, so next is for NISER, NISER, and we also have NEST as a scholarship program, which is here. Okay, so as you can see, under NEST, you can get admissions to 5-year integrated program. These are the different courses that take NEST scores. And what is the eligibility criteria, the exam pattern, available number of seats, application fee, application procedure, everything that is there. You can find all that information right here. And then the next scholarship, which I was telling you about. So this scholarship is for students who are either in the first or second year of your BSc, BTech, MBBS programs. And there's another scholarship that you have for the third and fourth year of BSc, BTech, MBBS students. Okay, you can read more. So you have, again, for the scholarship, you have all the information, how to apply, when to apply. All those informations are on this dashboard. So do take out some time to explore this dashboard. And you will find information about different colleges, entrance examinations, particularly to the, also to the particularly, for the program that you are interested in. All right. So now coming back to our PPT, let's see what more we have. So there's not much left now. We are, I'm just going to share the top colleges that are there in which you can pursue your BSc programs in your physics, chemistry, biology, and any specialized field you can apply for. So these are the top colleges. The IIC Bangalore, in which you can apply for a 4-year BS program through JEE, NEET, or KVPY. Then you have your DAI Homi Bhabha Institute, in which you can apply through NEST programs. You have NISER. You have IICR 7 campuses which have their own test and also take admission through KVPI. Why? You have 10 Central University in which you can apply through CUCET. You have your Indian Statistical Institute for Maths and Informational Science programs. You have BSc courses in IITs also. So I remember in one of my workshops, I was talking about, getting into IITs and talking about having a goal. So so if a student has a goal of going into IITs, the goal is going to IIT. So again, having a plan B, we were talking about having a plan B for everything that you do. So engineering is not just one way. There are different other programs also through which you can get into IITs. So your engineering programs are there, and then you have your IDC in IIT Mumbai, which does industrial designing programs in industrial engineering programs. That is one way through for which they take courses through admissions through UCED. Then this is one way. So in JEE Advanced, if you go for JEE Advanced exam paper, you can also get enrolled into BSc programs in IIT. Similarly, BITS also has their own BSc programs. We have Shivnadar University, Azim Premji University, and closer to home, we have our Calcutta University and Jadavpur University, which I don't know if you people know, but come under the top 10 universities of India as per the NIRF rankings. So NIRF rankings are the National Institute rankings released by the government, released by the institute every year for all the colleges and universities that are there across India. You can always check out these rankings of the college that you want to apply for before taking admission. So these are released not for just overall courses, but also on the basis of the top engineering colleges that are there, top medical colleges that are there. So in top universities of India, Calcutta University and Jadavpur University come under top 10. Beside these two, there are other universities also around Calcutta or West Bengal. There is Kalinga Institute, which is in Bhubaneswar. Tezpur University in Assam, Guwahati University in Assam, Vishwa Bharati in Shantiniketan. These universities, these institutes also come under top 50 universities across India. So when you are looking for colleges, then you should also consider these courses. One more thing that I would like to share is the joint entrance examination. Okay, the one that we give for IITs and engineering admission. Those courses are also considered by the IISER admissions. And there is institute IIPE, the Petroleum Engineering Institute, the Rajiv Gandhi Petroleum and Technology Institute, and Indian Institute of Space Sciences and Technology. So there are a lot of science specific courses programs which do consider IIT programs, the JEE scores also. So when you are giving JEE, do have a wide scope, do keep your options ready, make a proper list of kind of courses options that are there for you and the college options that are there for you. So the purpose about this workshop that we are doing today for all the science students is to create career awareness, is to create college awareness, and to create course awareness, the different colleges and career options that are out there for you to explore and have a career in them. So as part of this presentation, this workshop, let's move on to the next exciting part of it. In the first part, we talked about the different careers that are there in the field of sciences. Now we are going to spend some time understanding the psychometric assessment report. So a lot of students here, I know, would have done the psychometric assessment, right? And they would have now got a 17-page report. All right. Now what to do with it? How to read your report, how to use your report. So, but first, let us answer the question that why we are doing a psychometric report and why we are doing psychometric report, why we are having a section where explaining this report, and why you need to understand your psychometric report. This is one thing that I discussed in my previous workshop, the first career planning workshop also, as to if you are a student who knows what you want to do. All right. And this is a situation one that I presented here also, that you are in good luck if your report also shows the career you want. Great, superb, congratulations that a report about your interest, abilities and personalities matching your choice, your preferences. But you know what to do next, but also keep a plan B. Are you keeping a plan B that if you want to go into IIT, the case I was discussing shortly back, if you want to go into IIT, if you're not able to get into a good engineering college, what is the other way through which you can go into IIT? Or if you're not able to get into any IIT for an engineering program, but you still want to do engineering and in a course that you like, what are the different other college options or different career pathways to make a career into engineering? And another case that you had taken commerce but you were interested in computers, what to do about it, right? So you need to understand yourself first, and then you also need to be aware of the different options that are there for yourself. How will you find a plan B while you have been always thinking about a plan A? So this psychometric report can give you that information, that what could be another career option or a pathway for yourself, which you can keep as a backup plan in case your plan A fails, in case your plan A doesn't work out the way you wanted it to be. Okay. So situation one case of psychometric report that we are going to discuss is along this path. The second psychometric report that we are going to talk about is about situation 2. When you want to do something, when you are already thought of something that I want to do this and all of that, and your psychometric report does not match with your preferences, then what do you need to do? Okay, what are the areas that you need to work on to become better and more capable towards the field that you want to be? Why it is not showing what you want to be? How you can develop that path, and also develop and most importantly a backup plan, because this psychometric report indicates that there is a gap. In case you are not able to fill that gap in the given time you have, you need to have a backup plan so you don't get disappointed. All right. But before we start discussing the reports, the psychometric report and how it is to be read, let us first spend some time go through these caveats that are there. First, the report does not guarantee that you will crack the entrance exam or get into your dream college. All right. It is indicative of only you and your abilities, not of the how the entrance exam will be, designed by the exam design. Whoever person is, preparing the exam, how he will be preparing that exam, what is going on, and what is the difficulty level of it. Okay, so it is only a mirror about you and you only, and not about anything else. So you still have to work on the academic part. You still have to work on yourself to go through the entire process. The report shows your chances of success in certain career clusters. The course will certainly need more academic commitment. Right. What we are trying to talk about here is, I'll give you a small example that, for example, if you want to become a doctor, okay, when we talk about your interest and abilities and personality, so in personality for a doctor, it is necessary to be calm and resilient, a person who is capable of handling stress, remain calm, and answer to the respond to the situation in a calm manner. But an entrance exam of NEET, an exam like NEET, requires to be very competitive. Okay, at that moment, it is very difficult to maintain calm and generous and maintain a good relationship with people around you and all those. That NEET is a very competitive exam, and you need to put in everything that is there into it. Right. So what we are talking about is the career requirement and not the course or entrance exam requirement. So you need to be prepared and to develop yourself, with the process as and when forward you are going. And finally, in the report towards the end, that you will find there are 10 career clusters recommended for you, of which we will recommend that any career cluster that is scored below 50 should not be considered, and above 50 should be the one. Those can be considered for your possible career pathway. All right. Now, moving on to the report analysis, but before that, let us spend some time to understand the 3 parameters on which this psychometric assessment has been designed and how they are linked to different careers. What we're trying to do here is to understand how these 3 parameters can influence or assist your career preferences. Okay, so when we are talking about aptitude, it doesn't mean that a person who is high on numerical aptitude should become a statistician, mathematician, finance, data analyst, banking, actuary, or finance. What we are trying to say here is that somebody who has a numerical aptitude, he or she has better chances at success if they choose these career options. But again, there are 3 parameters that we are going to talk about here. One is aptitude, interest, and personality. Now, each of these parameters play their own individual role in your career choices. That is why each have to be considered equally, and each of them have to be considered before making the final career choices. So here now we are going to, in the following 3 slides about aptitude, interest, and personality, I am going to talk about how these relate to different careers. Okay, so look at them from the perspective of to understand these aptitude. All right. So somebody who has, so in aptitude, we had 5 aptitudes. So those who have given the assessment, they would know in aptitude segment, it was a 50-minute segment in which there were, 5 aptitudes, about 9 questions for each of the aptitudes were there. So we tested you on numerical aptitude, verbal aptitude, mechanical, reasoning, and spatial aptitude. And based on your answers to those questions, you were assigned a certain number on your performance. So numerical aptitude is all about being good with numbers. That is why a person who is high on numerical aptitude will have, will be comfortable and, have better performance in the fields relating to numbers. Like some person who is working as a statistician or a mathematician or in the field of, finance or data or banking. A person who is good in verbal aptitude, which means this person is able to communicate better, has a better grip on language. All right. So they will make good anchors, journalists writers. So verbal aptitude is not about, the oral conversation or the communication you are making. It's about understanding the language also. It's about the writing capabilities also, and also about the verbal aptitude, verbal abilities. So you can make, this aptitude will be very well applied to professions like an anchor or a journalism, a writer or an author or a politician. All right. The next is the mechanical aptitude. Mechanical aptitude talks about people who likes working with things and have interest in, understanding how things work. Okay, they are the people who like to operate things, or like have curiosity about how things work and how to make things work. So these people will have, perform well in fields like engineering, navy, pilot, army, fire specialist. Okay. Now we have the reasoning aptitude. Now reasoning aptitude is something that we have, tried to identify few careers, relate few careers to specific to these, where very high reasoning is required. But honestly, reasoning is something that is applied in all careers. So even for engineering, you have a logical and reasoning section in your entrance exam. And even if you are going for, exams like CU, CET, those exams will also have a logic and reasoning section, because reasoning is something that is applied to all careers. But yes, professions like a lawyer, a marketing, sales, entrepreneurs, finance, scientists, who need to be very sharp in their reasoning, who need to, think on their toes, these will require very high reasoning, and hence these careers have been related to a person with high reasoning aptitude. Finally, we have spatial aptitude. Spatial aptitude talks about creativity. It talks about a person's capability to visualize things. All right. So these people who have a high spatial aptitude would have a better performance and, a good, closeness with careers like designing, architecture, sculpture, animation, and, any kind of these things. Pilot is also placed here because, pilot need to have this, ability to visualize space. Okay. They need to have a, natural sense of direction. Okay, it helps if a person has a natural sense of space and directions. So these people become, have a better performance being a pilot than a person with who would have less this kind of skill. Moving on to next, personality. Now, personality in our test, we had 5 parameters in personality, in which we tested, in which the assessment ask you questions about your experimental orientation, which means, are you a person who is very, practical and realistic, and you just follow the facts that are given in terms of you, and you only follow that thing? Or are you imaginative? Or are you an experimental person who would rather trust on instincts more, who would like to delve on more, the curiosity aspect would be higher, that you will like to work on that thing that you don't understand, but you have a high instinct for that. So somebody who is practical and realistic, those kind of people would make better careers in finance, sales, marketing, and actuary, which is which works on really hard facts. Okay, sales people now cannot go just on their crunch that I feel if I launch here, then it will be a success. No, they have to work on pure numbers, and they have to give facts for supporting their sales figures. And imaginative and experimental would be your artists, filmmakers, your scientists, and poets. Then is your interpersonal orientation, which means how good are you with people. So people who would like to work on their own, they drive, they get energy from internally, from quietness, and working within their own zone. Those are introvert people, and most suitable careers for these people could be being a writer, researcher, painter, or an accountant. While a person who is an extrovert, who likes to meet people, who gets his energy by talking to people and giving out to the world, those people are extrovert, and they will be more comfortable in a job where they are interacting with people always. So like for a teacher, a marketing and sales person, politician, public relations, or a manager, team manager, or a manager working with people, they need to have high internal personal orientation so that they can work with people and get better results with people also. Next is emotional orientation, which talks about your, how as a person are you in handling your emotions. So ideally, a person who is, who has high emotional orientation in terms of who is more, stronger, keep their emotion, and they're resilient and calm. They are more preferable for most of the jobs rather than a person who is less, manageable in terms of in control of their own emotions. So doctor, especially fields like doctor, firefighters, armed forces, and educators, therapists, the psychologists, the psychiatrists, these are the people who really need to have control on their emotions, because they can't react to people. They can't, think from their heart. These are the professions where you need to think with your mind. You need to take decisions from a calm mind. Then is the attitudinal orientation, which talks about whether you are tough and competitive or whether you are generous and cooperative. So fields like sales, marketing, finance, business, entrepreneurship, these require you to be tough and competitive without any concern with people around you. Just need to focus on your task and, just run through whatever is ahead of you. And then there are professions which require to be generous and cooperative, like social worker, healthcare professionals, counselors, therapists. And finally, conscientiousness orientation talks about how focused and organized you are in your work. And this is one thing that applies to all careers. So if you are focused and organized in your task, you can become anything, you can do anything, quite well. But if you are less in this orientation, then there will be difficulties that you will be facing in your job. Every job requires to be a certain organized, but it's not as if that a person who is low on emotional orientation or who is low in consciousness, they can't do anything. They can do things. It's just that this is their weak spot and they need to work upon it. Finally, we have careers linked to interest. So we have 6 interest areas which are based on the RISEC model, a very popular model. Almost all assessments in interest assessments are done based on this model only. So it talks about 3 interest areas: realistic, which means a person who likes to build things, who likes to make things, who he or she needs to do something, likes to do things that involve making something, building something. All right, physical job that has to be there should be some physical work involved. So these are the doers, what we call them. So these would be jobs, would be engineer, architect, pilot, military officers, forest officers. So these are some of the examples of where students or people have interest in the realistic areas. Then we have investigative areas which require people to investigate or are curious in nature, and they want to analyze every bit of information. So the suitable careers which will go with these kind of interest areas would be your economists, your lawyers, engineers, research analysts, psychologists, physicians, and surgeons. Then your artistic interest areas, which talk about the creative fields like that of artist, singing, musician, actor, interior designer, which they want to create something new always. They want to, do something exciting, something, unthought of before. So these artistic people are very creative in nature. Social people are those who, social interest areas, the people with social interest areas are those who like to work with people, the counselors, the social workers, the teachers, the nurse and therapist. And enterprising are those who who have leadership qualities, who like to influence people, lead people. So managers, salesperson, entrepreneurs, market analysts, these are all those are examples of careers which require enterprising interest areas. And then you have conventional interest areas. These are those people who like to work in a very processed and systematic manner. Okay, they don't like one hair out of the place. They don't like one page out of the book. So these are very organized people. And they like to work in a process. Okay, these will not be people who would run very flexible, and they will not be ready to work on something new every day. They like to have a process for everything they do. So a banker or a data analyst or a chartered accountant are the most popular careers that might suit these kind of people. Now let's move on to your psychometric reports now. Okay, so I'll stop sharing now. So now we understand how our aptitude, how our interest, how our personalities impact the career choices that we are making. Now what we'll do is, now we'll try to look at two reports from this perspective. Okay, so all of you will be getting these kind of reports once you have completed. Those who haven't completed their psychometric assessment, to those students, I would request that you go to your student dashboard. I'll show you. Just a moment. Okay. I hope you are able to see my screen now. So this is your dashboard. This is what you get once you log in into mysarthi.org. Your login IDs are with your teacher coordinators who coordinated with us for the career planning workshop that we did in your school. All right. You can take your login IDs there and your password from there, and you can log in into this dashboard. Once you have logged in, you can go into assessment and report. And from there, you can conduct the career assessment for private school and college students. Okay, so I have done a lot of demos for schools. That is why it is showing this window first. It will not come for your case. In your case, when you log in, you will have an option to first choose language of your choice. Okay, where you get it, you can get it from profile also. So it will be asking for some information about your schools and your choices in terms of what you want to do. You can fill it whenever you are comfortable, your academic details and everything. You can also give your language of choices. So you will get language choices when you enter here, and then you can so you have Hindi also, Bengali also as a subject option. You can choose the kind of language you want to have, and then choose career assessment. And here you will find your interest assessment, personality assessment for 20 minutes and aptitude assessment for 50 minutes, like I was telling you. Okay, once you complete your assessment, you will get a report like this. So this 17-page report you will get. And in this page report, what you get? You will get information about your interests and abilities and your personality. You will identify also career options that match you, that suit you as a person, which go well with your interest areas, with your aptitude areas, and with your personality. It will help you also using this psychometric report. You can then plan your career in terms of the courses that you want to seek, the colleges that you want to go. And this is our dashboard that is there, that has been given to you, works as an additional tool for you to make this plan for you. So you identify your career goals with this pro, and then you get extensive insights about different careers through the career dashboard that has been given to you. How this report is organized. So in the first section, we are going to do, we discuss the psychometric analysis after completing your assessment. So first we'll talk about your aptitude, then we'll talk about your personality, and then we are going to talk about your interest areas. In section 2, we'll talk about your career fitment analysis, which careers fit you. And then in section 3, we'll talk about how your career suggestions that are there, they map with your aptitude, personality, interest, and what would be the summaries and recommendations for you. So these are the different career cluster information you can find on the dashboard that we have. And these are the 21 career clusters that we'll be using here also as part of this report. So first, talking about aptitude. So as I told you, we have 5 aptitudes: numerical, verbal, mechanical, spatial, and reasoning aptitude. The definition of it is also provided if in case you need to understand more about these aptitude areas. Now this student number 1, as I have named him, he has, as you can see, very high reasoning aptitude. This person also has good mechanical aptitude and good numerical aptitude also. Okay, so he has high potential in all these areas. So as you can see, we define based on the aptitude scores that you get in this report, your high potential areas, medium potential areas, and low potential areas are defined. So this student that we are discussing right now has high potential areas in all these aptitude regions. Now coming to the personality part. Now in personality, we have again 5 personality parameters. And as I explained you in the previous workshop, personality is not black and white. In interest areas, you will be having questions like yes and no. Do you like this or not? In personality, you don't have a clear yes or no. You are a person who is unique. You have a combination of different personalities. And that is why we talk about orientation. We don't talk about whether you are tough or competitive or whether you are generous or cooperative. We talk about your orientation. So this person's orientation is somewhere in between. So he is neither, so this was a Pratima, I think, to she. So she, Pratima, this girl, she is neither very competitive and she is nor very generous or cooperative. So which means she moderately trusts people. She strikes a balance between, being completely honest and somewhere calculating also things. She tends to be cooperative, but also very careful about who she is helping and how she is helping. In emotional orientation, this person is again very balanced. She is not completely a resilient and calm person, but she's also not very a nervous or anxious person. In conscientious person, she is not very impulsive or very organized. She's somewhere in between. She makes a good balance in that also. In interpersonal orientation, this girl is oriented towards more introvert nature, which means that this person, she would prefer to work in a, she would prefer to work alone. She would, like to, she will not be very, talkative or social in a, talkative in a social setting. She would like to keep to herself. So this is a personality orientation. And finally, in learning orientation, this is a person who is not very imaginative or experimental. She again has a very practical and realistic orientation, which means that she is, she works on facts. She works on the things that are in front of her. She works on the things that are more logical to do rather than for the fun of it. Coming to interest areas, like I told you, this is based on Dreisack model. And we will be talking about 6 interest areas: the realistic, the investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. You can find the definitions here if you want to understand them more. So the interest profile of this person says that this person is realistic. She is a doer. She likes to do things. She's also very curious and analytical. She has areas of interest. She is least artistic, less social interest, some amount of enterprising and conventional. So she likes a, processed approach, a disciplined approach into things. And she is, kind of person who would like to influence people, who would like to impact the people of the work of other people. So she is an investigative, realistic and enterprising personality, which means she's a thinker, she's a doer, and she is a persuader. You can, further read into interest profiles that what does it mean if you are more investigative and more realistic and enterprising. So the top 3, we give more description about these profiles. Now is the section 2 where we talk about career fitment. So this person, remember, was high on realistic and investigative. So the top recommendations that have come for her are medical sciences. Okay, but she's also in personality terms, she is also a more introvert orientation person and a more processed person who works in an organized manner. So that is also fine. But yes, since she has an orientation towards introvert and working alone, she might have to work on her social skills now. Okay, so this is how this report has to be read and to be used for your own career analysis. That this is the career recommendation. Okay, medical sciences. Do I like medical sciences? Yes. Does it match with my preferences? Yes. Yes. Does it match with my personality and interest areas and my aptitude? So yes, this girl had superb aptitude levels, as we remember. But where do I lag? I lag in my personality orientation. If I want to make a career in medical sciences, I need to work on my social skills. And the other career recommendations that have come for her are agriculture, food sciences, allied medical sciences, engineering. So she is a proper science student. All the science courses have been listed here. But this person being, very high on aptitude level and these things, she has got 50 above fitment score for all the careers. So if she's not interested in science, if she's interested in other fields, she can also consider these careers also if interested. And here's the career fitment analysis, where we are analyzing the top 4 careers and how they are matching with her aptitude. So in terms of aptitude, medical sciences correlate with her aptitude 26%, agriculture 23%. So your engineering and technology and your medical sciences, the blue and the green, she has high correlation. Her aptitude correlates highly with these 2 careers. If you want to match your personality, so in terms of personality, she in medical sciences and agriculture food sciences, she is finding high correlation. In interest areas, again, all the 4 career options share equal fitment, because all these career require same level of interest areas as have been showcased by her: realistic, enterprising, and investigative. In the summary and recommendation, we also show how if 2 parameters have to be taken into consideration, then how do these map each of these career options, how do these map with personality and aptitude. Or if you want to see a mapping of interest versus personality, or in case you want to see a mapping of interest versus aptitude, then how each of these careers align with the person. Okay, now let's move on to a scenario where the student wants to pursue science. Okay, so let's consider a scenario, the situation 2 that was there in the beginning in the PPT that I had. Situation 1 is where your interest areas are matching with your psychometric report. Then you have how you need to read the report. Now let's consider a situation where you want to pursue field in science, where you are very interested in doing sciences, but you have a report which is not giving you not profiling you as a science student. So for example, this student, he is high on verbal aptitude. Okay, so what does a science student need is mechanical reasoning become very, very important. Numerical also plays a good importance, but he is medium potential in mechanical and reasoning. So his high potential area is only verbal aptitude, which is not at all related to your, not at all related wala cheez nahi hai, but it is very, the least of these abilities. Verbal aptitude is the least which would be considered for a science student. He is average or medium potential areas in numerical aptitude, mechanical, reasoning, and spatial aptitude, while he has no low potential area. In terms of personality, this person again has a average attitudinal orientation, neither too generous and cooperative with people and nor very competitive also. This person is also not very organized nor very impulsive. In emotional, again a very balanced person, बहुत ही calm, resilient भी है and थोड़ा सा nervous, anxious भी होता है. Interpersonal, again not completely social, not completely quiet. Only in learning orientation, this person shows that he is a more practical and realistic person, which means he's not very creative or experimental in his work. He is not a person who would like to be very flexible with things, but very realistic and very direct with his approach. Now coming to his interest areas. So he is a person who has also interest, very divided interests. So he is a conventional person, which kind of match with his personality also. He is also a little artistic. He is also a person who is very, kind of social, artistic 6 and social 6. So means likes to work with the people, or in an environment where people are involved. But so anything below this hexagon, so there's a big hexagon and there's a small hexagon. So anything below this small hexagon shows, poor interest areas in those fields. So he is very low on realistic. He's very low on investigative capabilities and very low on enterprising interest areas. So who is this person? He's a person who is a creator, who likes to create things. He's a person who likes to help people, and he's an organizer. So what do we get for this? What kind of career recommendations we get for this person are these: art and design, education, teaching, humanities, social sciences, performing arts, animation. So you can see there is hardly any science recommendation for this student. But all of these recommendations are good, as you can see. All of them are above 50. So he can make career in any of these fields. Now, what do you do? First thing is that if you're really, really interested in the field of science, you need to understand the gaps that are there in your profile. So you are a person who is not interested also in building things. So he got low scores on realistic also and investigative areas also. So you are a person who doesn't like to build things, who are a person who doesn't like to investigate into these things. And science is a field where a lot of these things are involved. So if you are if you're a doctor, you need to investigate into patient's illness. If you are into a pure science field, you need to investigate about the different things that are happening in your field, whether you are a physicist or if you are becoming a chemist also. So different chemicals, how do they combine and how do they result into new things. So this person was balanced in the experimental thing also, not very experimental also in terms of personality. This person has kind of average aptitude also, and this person is also not having very high interest areas in realistic investigative. So if you want to make a career into the sciences, first step is to identify which kind of sciences do you want to work in, how you can develop your personality of that person, and how you can develop your interest areas into the field which can help you. So interest areas are something that you cannot develop. Aptitude and personality is something that a student can work upon. So identify the gap in your aptitude. So you are high on verbal aptitude. This student is high on verbal aptitude, not on mechanical and reasoning or numerical aptitude. So you need to first cover up the aptitude part. Second, whatever personality gaps that are there, which may make you very unsatisfactory in these professions. So if you're a person who is not very experimental, if you're not curious enough, you will not succeed much in these careers. You will complete your course and find a job, but if you don't have that motivation to do your job, it does not make sense. So you have to identify your interest areas and develop your personalities accordingly. Second option that this student have is that whatever career cluster fitment that are coming here. So one of them is art and design, second is education and teaching. Now, if you are interested in sciences, if you are high on verbal ability, so why not you become a science professor or a science teacher? You can study science, but now you will not be doing experiments. You will not be a person who will be sitting alone and doing all the work, but you will be interacting with people, teaching them something, learning from them something. So you can become a science teacher or a professor. Or with respect to art and design, you can also consider the field of architecture and planning. It is a good combination of how design can be. Industrial designing is another course that you can consider. All right. So think of the other options in which you can apply your strengths, through which you can apply. So these are called interdisciplinary career options. Okay, where you are applying your strengths to a certain field where you might not be good at, or you might not directly have an connection, but you are bringing a certain knowledge to that field. So you're bringing the knowledge of your art and design stuff into the field of engineering. All right. So these are two ways in which you can read the psychometric report. And this is the career fitment analysis, where they are talking again about how they match with your aptitude and personality interest, and how they map to your interest and aptitude and personality. So this is what we wanted to talk to you about. This is what we wanted to share with you, in our career awareness workshop. How you can, what are the different careers that are there in the field of sciences, and how you can use your psychometric career, is how you can use your psychometric report to make a decision about your career choices. So all the best, and let's start the Q&A. I hope everybody, all of you, benefited from this workshop. We'll be opening to questions now, and I hope you all find the same curiosity, excitement, and joy of discovery as this girl have used in this image. So we will be opening the question answers now. Are there any questions?
Just checking, Mansi.
Yeah. Okay, so we have students from KV to Binnaguri and Kosipur. Okay, welcome all the students. I hope all of you enjoyed the information that we have shared, and I hope you will use the dashboard also for researching more about the career that I discussed today, and also complete a psychometric report. Swastika, Megdeep, Shashank. I hope all of you have completed your assessments, so you can use it to understand yourself, understand the career options that are there, and then research about those careers on our dashboard. The students who are from commerce or arts and humanities, we will having more workshops for you in the coming days. So day after tomorrow, 24th January, we will be discussing commerce and neutral careers. Neutral careers are those which which are irrespective of whatever stream you have been, you can choose those careers. And 27th January, we will be discussing careers in arts and humanities. If there are any doubts about the presentation that I shared, if there are any doubts about the career streams that we have discussed, the career, different careers that we have discussed in the field of engineering, architecture, or biology, pure sciences, what you can do in physics, what you can do with chemistry, what you can do with mathematics. So mathematics we discussed, and in how physics, chemistry, and biology can be developed as a huge careers. If you have any questions about that, you can let us know. If you have any questions about the dashboard that you have been using, any particular question about your psychometric report, I hope most of you have completed your psychometric assessment. You have got your own psychometric report. If you have any questions regarding the same, this is the platform you can ask your questions right now.
So I don't seem to see any more questions here. Mansi, will wait for another 1 or 2 minutes. If there are no more questions, we'll close the session.
Absolutely. I think we shared a lot of information with the students today. It might be overwhelming for them.
No more questions, Mansi. I think we can close.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and hope you have a great weekend. Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks, Mansi.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, everyone.